So this room is lined. I've just come through a room, a corridor lined with portrait busts. And of course, it has to be remembered that there was no photography in the days of the Romans. They only had sculpture to represent themselves or their ancestors. So these were everlasting images of their ancestors. So, and look at them, they have lasted. Extraordinary portraiture. Look at these. And can you imagine the way that artists, as soon as these were discovered, artists had a wonderful form of copying faces. They're everywhere, they're all around us. Every so often one catches the eye. Look how individual they are. How all of them are individual features and can be immediately identified by the family. They've really had it to a fine art. This is the side of a sarcophagus, probably talking about the life of the person who may have been inside. And then these lovely heads of women, so beautiful, gentle faces. And we get an idea of the headdresses, the hairstyles. Look at the beard on this man. And this man, look. They truly are just so individual, each one of them, identifiable. It's really hard to get an idea of the scale of these pieces of sculpture without having some sort of human reference. I mean, this boy here is probably twice the size or more. If someone walks by, I think you did catch that someone, then you would get an idea. She is more life-size. He is ginormous, and I will scoot down to see that wonderful piece at the end there when I've sat and had a bit of a rest. Now you've got a reference, a human reference to the size. Gives you a reference as to the size, the scale of them. Look at this magnificent piece here. Now this is reconstructed from the fragments. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Now, way in the distance, you can see the Hercules, which is a famous feature of this museum. You can see now the scale. I think these came from the baths of Caracalla in Rome. See, the Romans, the baths were features of sculpture, magnificent sculpture in the baths. And the scale of those baths, these figures would have been insignificant. Look, here he is. Look at that. Isn't that phenomenal? It's just amazing. Look at the musculature of his legs. Here's the signature. Look at that. He holds Aphrodite's, is it her apples? I'm not sure. Look, all the people loving it. That's the lion's skin that he was famous, always had, always carried. His wonderful feet. Is coming up to the last cell, and probably the most magnificent of them all. That head of Zeus. Wonderful face. Yeah, here's a group of emperors' wives. One's Trajan's wife, the other one is the other one, hang on, I'm checking. The other one is no, they're both Trajan. Both Trajan, and then we have, who's this? Antonino Po and Hadrian. Again, There's Hadrian. You can always see Hadrian. I wonder how long they had to pose for these sculptures. I wonder. It's no easy process to sculpt a block of marble. It's not as quick as modelling in clay or carving in wood. Really, I got here just in time, nice and early. Now I'm going to go and have a look at I'm going to have a coffee. I'm going to have a look at the Spanish Quarter.